Hey guys, let's continue. So, what are monotonic functions? These are functions that are either completely increasing or completely decreasing. For example, on a graph, you see them either like this or like this. There are no dips, there are no sudden increases. So, if you look at an increasing function, it means for every x1 which is less than or greater than x2, f of x1 is always less than or equal to f of x2, which means when x1 increases, f of x1 also increases. For a decreasing function, it's the opposite. For every x1 less than equal to x2, f of x1 is greater than or equal to f of x2. So this is your example of increasing function, this is your example of decreasing function. Note down that every constant function and every identity function, these are always increasing. Constant functions means fx is equal to 3 and identity function means fx is equal to x. So let's see the properties of these functions. So suppose you have a function f that is continuous in a comma b and differentiable in a comma b. If f dash x is greater than 0 at each point x between a and b, then f is increasing at interval a comma b. However, if this is f dash x. If f dash x is less than 0 at each point, x that is between a and b, then f is decreasing in a and b. So let's write down the theorem. Let I be an open interval. Where f is in the interval I and it is a real function which is differentiable, then f is increasing if and only if f dash x is greater than or equal to 0 for every x between in the interval I, and f is decreasing if and only if f dash x is less than equal to 0 for all x between the interval I. Now guys, let's look at some terms called global or absolute, maxima and minima. And you also have local maxima and minima. So I'll explain this with a graph so it becomes easier. So imagine you have this graph. It starts from here, goes up till here. So let's say this is the point A and this is the point B. So your range is A comma B. Let's say this is C, this is D, and this is E. So your global maxima is the highest point in the entire graph, which is this. So your global maxima becomes E. Similarly, global minima is the point which is the smallest in the entire graph, which is this point, point A. Now, what does local maxima and minima means? Local maxima means if there is some interval where it is the highest or lowest point. For example, if you look at just this interval, your highest point would be C. So here you can say that your local maxima is C. Or if you look over here in just this area, you can see that this is your lowest point. Let's name this F. So here your local minima will be F.